Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. First of all, I'm sorry if my voice is a little bit off, I'm a little bit sick, but I was getting tired of just being tired all day, so decided to record this anyway. This is my deck that I used for the Dueling Cup. It was actually a lot of fun for me, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. And as you can see, it's a basic branded Despia deck, but with a little twist. And this made it very interesting for me. Like, I'm a Yugi boomer, I love Buster Blader. We'll just jump into the videos and I'll show you guys how it worked for me. Alright guys, it's replays. So just to explain real quick, we need two things to get this going in the first place. We need access to branded fusion. So even if it's Aliber or branded opening, that's great. We also will need access to Prologue, a copy of Prologue of the Destruction Swordsman. And we do that by either having it in our hand or using Trap Trick for it. If we do not have access to the Prologue, we just do branded Despia plays. But this is the perfect hand, because we will also have access to Ab Libitum. And I will talk to you guys in a bit. I will let this play out on the background. But priority 1, if we have combo, is get a dragon in the graveyard. Priority 2, that would just be a plus. The first is required, we need a dragon. The plus is getting the Dragon Buster in the graveyard. And to top it all off, if we can get Ab Libitum, perfect combo. Okay, so here, what we do is we used the Tragedy to pull the Ad Libitum. So that was 1. That's just the extra plus, but I already saw in the cards we could get this. Now, we got priority number 2. The Dragon Buster is in the graveyard. So we got all the pluses. We know we had combo because we had access to Branded Fusion, to the Prologue. So now we're just adding the pluses. Okay, this is just familiar territory for everyone, I assure you. And we will banish our own Lubellion. No, it's a Luber, not Lubellion, it's a Luber. Actually only to get the Albion in graveyard, and that is the dragon in graveyard. Now here, as soon as our opponent's turn starts, we pop the Prologue. Okay, that will allow us to send Destruction Sword Memories and a Buster Blader to the graveyard. Use that trap card to fuse from your graveyard into Buster Blader, the Dragon Slayer, the ultimate bad boy. Also, Prologue itself will summon a Buster Dragon, and Buster Dragon will allow you to pull that Dragon Buster from the graveyard. So from here, just to show you guys what we have on the field real quick, we have these two making all our opponents' monsters dragons, putting them in defense position and negating their effects. That is insane already. We have the Dragon Buster on top of that. It will lock him out of the extra deck. Then we also have the Mirror Jade Banish, and with the Branded in red and the Ad Libitum in hand, we also have access to this super familiar Branded Despia play, where we use Branded in red to bring Lubellion back together with the Chimera. So we have 2 banishes, pops. It's insane. Now our opponent actually has no monster on the field, so I will just fast forward from here, let you guys see how this plays out. But that's the perfect combo. Perfect combo. You will see in other games that it won't be this fancy. But obviously you want to keep the best first, right? I wanted to show you guys real quick. So I went into Masquerade Dragon just to do burn damage for whatever those face downs we're going to do. Here we go into Guardian Chimera, I believe. Yep, there it is. So we still don't know what we're playing, but it turns out to be Labyrinth really soon. Although as soon as our Mirror Jade got brought back to our extra deck, we pretty much knew that we were playing this. Now, Lady is negated, so our opponent throws it, but that is a great game one. Alright guys, the second game. So as you can see, we have access to neither our branded fusion or our prologue of the swordsman. So I use this to banish our tragedy, and from here it will be a little bit more of a branded play. But since I used the Despian tragedy, I am going to link off, and I want you guys to see this, with the Dragon Buster. So from here, we know Mirror Jade is gonna come out, and we know he is going to put Albion in graveyard. So we have a dragon in graveyard, that is a must. Then we do have the Dragon Buster in graveyard. So we plussed that combo, we made it better, okay? Our opponent is actually playing Pendulum, and I am not very familiar with this, so I'm not really gonna talk towards it. I just know that it's a lot of effects, and I have seen him plenty of time to know where to go. And usually it always comes down to this. No, wait, this was actually pretty new. So here, Albion in graveyard. We know if we pull the prologue, we're gonna be good. So he destroys our Mirror Jade, but our Theater of Despair brings it back. And this is obviously where we go for when we're playing against a Pendulum deck. We want heavy metal foes gone as soon as it enters. Then our opponent, he's trying to make the best of his turn, but we actually use our trap card, a new trap card, Branded Banishment. We go into Masquerade because, as you can see, Pendulum has a lot of effects and I want to do as much burn damage as possible. It's back to us. From here, now we pull the Destruction Sword Memories, and that is a Garnet. That is useless in our hand. We do not want it in hand, we want it in the graveyard. And if it would have been there, we still cannot do anything with it because we need Buster Blader there too. Now our opponent, he is trying to battle out of this. I will just let this go fast forward. He actually realizes it's over from here. He probably took way too much damage by now. And I believe we go into Dragostapelia here. Yep, just to get negates if he gets another heavy metal foes or something. And he is just doing weird stuff from here. He knows it's over. He's just doing dailies, I guess. And we won the battle. So the third one, this is an interesting one. So we actually got everything for the perfect combo, but we opt to go in another way. So we have the prologue in hand and we have Branded Fusion. So we have everything we need to get comboing. We just need this in graveyard, and we are going to use Lubellion's discard effect to get it there. So from here, we summon using Lubellion, discarding the Dragon Buster, and the Despian Tragedy is going to add us the Ad Libitum. So from this point, if this turn goes through, we can go Lubellion into Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade will put Albion in the graveyard, and we got everything we need to get that game 1 board right here. We just don't do it, and this is why. We pulled Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, and I went with Albion because I still will put my Albion in the graveyard if I sacrifice it with my Virus card, and I can still go into Prologue after that. But with all this heavily Labyrinth, Runic, this is, well, the safest way to go, I guess. And as you can see, our opponent threw it immediately. So, yeah, that was a good call. Alright, the fourth one. Don't worry, guys. Buster Blader is coming back. It wasn't clickbait. He will actually be here again. So, for this hand, we again have the Prologue, the Branded Fusion, and the Ad Libitum. So, we already know we are smooth sailing. It's just that we're going second, and we're going against Runics. So it's not just free play for us here. Now our opponent ends up on a okay for us to break board, I guess. We pull the branded opening. I will go fast forward a little bit here. Well, you guys know where this is all going. So he actually banishes our Thespian strategy. So that's actually fine. We can add a card by that. So there's the Aliber. With our Aliber, we are pulling the Theater of Despia, and the only reason I did that and not another fusion card is I have these three in hand, and in my deck I am running the first Dark Lord. So these are actually all the elements I would have needed to pull that card. And I was having fun, so might not be the best play, but it would be fun. So in here, we do throw the Dragon Buster. A little bit slower because we get negated with our Rebellion. Cards get banished. We need to get rid of this ASAP, obviously. So, we can fuse. We have the Theater. The Theater of Despia. And we will go into Guardian Chimera. And now this is important. Remember, effects in Yu-Gi-Oh! Resolve backwards. First one in is the last one out. We are going to destroy 2 cards. And we click the Fountain first. And then the Huggins. So the Huggins gets out of the way. And we are free to destroy the Fountain. We're going to add back Lubellion. We can't use it to fuse, but here we go. Popping the field. And we do damage. From here we set our Pollock. And as soon as our opponent's turn starts, as I just taught you, we pop it straight away, getting our Buster Dragon lock. Bang. Bang. And we quickly add the Buster Dragon. Now here, it actually turns out to be Sky Strikers as well. So I thought I was kind of prepared for whatever, but it's interesting. Now here our opponent opts for Destruction. So we use this card in Graveyard. It will protect our Buster Dragon from being destroyed. And he didn't read that because he clicked it. Now our opponent decides it's over, he can't use the effects, and he throws the game. Okay guys, so this last game, it's a little bit more of a tug of war. So as you can see, we do not pull a great hand, we don't have full combo. I decide not to go for the Branded Fusion because I saw my opponent's, well, what is it, his light trigger, and I knew he would have an Ash, so there was no use in going for it. I actually go the other way to my Rebellion to get my Mirror Jade, then try still to prepare for whatever we need to prepare for. So we set Branded Opening, so we can still get the Branded Fusion to our hand. Our opponent is playing Labyrinth. You've probably seen it on the ladder, it's everywhere. So, there's the Branded Fusion. And our opponent sets 3 and that's it. So we send a dragon to the graveyard. We need a dragon there. So at this point we already had a dragon in graveyard. Now we have 2. From here, it's just a little bit more Despia plays, but always preparing for if we pull a trap trick or a prologue. In this case we pull Chimera, which he really wants to get off the field ASAP, which we protect with Branded Opening. He still wants it off the field anyway. And we end up with our opponent having a board wipe. We almost have a board wipe. And this is where you can see the deck backfiring a little bit. So we pull a Buster Blader and that's not a Garnet. So that's a little bit of the downside of the deck, and that's what I want to show you guys. It might not get you Diamond 1. It didn't really brick for me, but well, not more than another deck would. But you can pull some Garnets where you really need better hands. Fortunately enough, we managed to still get the victory here. I will spoil that for you. But I think it was a little bit more of a cool battle because there was this tug of war going on. So yeah, give this deck a try if you want to. Just go back to the first video. The deck list is over there. It was a lot of fun for me, especially being a Yugi boomer, bringing Buster Blader back. Also, it is super satisfying, guys, when you get it off. I will go back to bed, try and heal up, and I'll see you guys later, alright? Take care.